Hello everybody, welcome along to my Aintree Day 3, the final day of the Grand National Festival preview. Grand National Day is almost upon us, exactly 24 hours from now. It's 5:15 on this Friday afternoon. We will just be setting off for the 4-mile, 2.5 trip over the national course, and that promises to be an absolute great spectacle. But I'm going to give my tips for that race a little bit later on, and we're going to run through the supporting card and give my picks in all the other races that I've gone through in on this good day. On this very busy card, there's some quality races. We've got the Stayers Hurdle, we've got a competitive handicap hurdle to start things off. We've got a nice Grade 1 novice chase, the Magwell novices chase, and we've got a competitive novice hurdle in there as well, all to get stuck into before going on into the Grand National. And we're going to get straight into the first race. The 145 is a handicap hurdle this time over the 3 miles, I think it's run over. And look at this race, it's quite wide open, but I'm drawn to the former Paul Nicholls train, now with Dan Skelton, Aux Ptis Sois at 11-1. Won the Temps final, I think, back in 2015 or 16. It won a big race at the festival a couple of years ago. And ran in the Cleeve Hurdle last time out, in behind the recent Stayers Hurdle winner at Cheltenham Paisley Park, and also finished behind West Approach, who runs in the Stayers Grade 1 hurdle later on in the afternoon. He finished 7th in that race. Didn't run too badly on that day, but definitely it was a red hot race, and you didn't expect him to get anywhere near the frame, especially behind horses such as Paisley Park, and who's a very, very good staying horse, and obviously West Approach, who probably isn't great, but he ran okay in that race. But prior to that, he won a very nice handicap hurdle at Cheltenham off a 5-1 favourite. He won that quite comfortably in the end. He's 2 from 3 in handicap company, so he's dropping back in grade now. Was given a little break after the Cleeve Hurdle, dropped back in grade now from a graded race to a handicap race. I think at 11-1 it's a nice price for this horse, and I think he's got a great chance of running the big race. The ground should suit him. If it's soft ground, it wouldn't be a problem. He's run on soft before. If it's good to soft, they're not a problem at all either, because it has been dry today at Aintree, so the good to soft or soft ground won't be a problem. And I think at 11-1 at the moment, it's a nice price for this Dan Skelton trained older grey horse, and I think he's got a great chance of running a massive race in the first race, the handicap hurdle. Moving into the second race, we've got a tough novice hurdle to get stuck into, and it's got some very, very nice horses in it. I think Ollie Murphy's got Brewing Up a Storm, who's a 5-2 favourite in this. After running well at the Cheltenham Festival, he will look to try and go one step further and win a big race at the spring, in one of the spring festivals. So I think he's 5-2 favourite when looking at the market, but looking for some value in this race at a bigger price. I've gone for one For Rosie. Finished a close second at Sandown last time out in the graded novice hurdle. Ran on the soft ground there last time. All like the current soft ground, or the current softish ground at the moment at Aintree. It is drying up as we speak, but it's still quite sticky out there in parts. Narrowly beaten last time, as I said before. Gone up in grade this time from a grade 2 to a grade 1. It's got a solid shout. Nigel Twiston-Davies probably, I think, thinks a lot of this horse. Sam Twiston-Davies we booked to ride, and they came very close to winning that graded novice hurdle, sorry, at Sandown last time. But only got beaten a short head in the end when it looked like she was going to win, and it's just got pipped right on the line on really soft going. It was a slow motion finish that day at Sandown, and it was really heavy going that day. A little bit of quicker ground might help her out a bit, and I think she's got a great chance. As I said, up in grades, a little bit of an ask, but I don't think it's too much of an ask. And to take on that Brewing Up a Storm, I'm going to go one For Rosie to cause a little bit of an upset for the Twiston-Davies team and go in to win this novice grade 1 hurdle. So moving into the Magwell Novices Chase, the championship novice chase of the week, of the 3-day meeting here for the 2-mile novice chasers here. We've got us and them at 11-4. He ran well in the Arkle last time out. Lalore at 7-2. He didn't run too great in the Arkle. We pulled up in the Arkle last time when he was a big chance, or a big banker of the week for many people to run a big race. He's at 7-2. Clondor Castle 4-1. Knocknanus is 6-1, and is 11-1 bar the rest. There's quite a few tight horses in this race, and I like the look of the law in this race. Causing distance form over hurdles, won a nice race over hurdles at Aintree before. I think it was at the Grand National Festival itself as well, I think last season. So he's definitely got a good causing distance form over the course, but hasn't been running too great this season, and that is my slight concern for him. Disappointing in the Arkle last time when pulled up, when, as I said, a big gamble and to try and run was a big chance, or lots of people already fancied his chance last time, and he didn't run the best of races last time. He pulled up quite early on in the Arkle. I think going down to the back straight, Richard Johnson pulled him up. 7-2 is a decent price on him, but I do have my doubts. He's not been in the best of form this year. I think at 7-2 it's an easy price to back, but I wouldn't be jumping in on that too easily. My pick for this race is the 6-1 shot Gary Moore's Knocknanus, who ran a big race in my opinion in the Arkle. Was going very well for a large part of the race. Just emptied up the hill a little bit. A flatter track might suit this older horse. I think he's 10 years old now. Was with Michael Winters. Went to Gary Moore, won a few races at Plumpton before running a big race in the Arkle for a long way at a big price. and I think he's got a massive chance at 6 to 1. Jamie Moore will probably look to try and conserve a bit more energy on him this time, instead of maybe trying to go from the front too soon, and he emptied out up the hill. So if he's ridden a bit more patiently, 6 to 1's a nice price for this older horse, and I think he's got a nice chance at a juicy price in this competitive race. Us and Them is 11 to 4 favourite, and deservedly so after his last run in the Arkle, and he'll take a lot of beating, but I think at a big price, Knocknanus will run a big race for me. And moving into the 340, the Stayers Hurdle, before we move into the Grand National preview. A tight race. Apple's Jade being upped in trip to the 3 miles after a disappointing run at Cheltenham in the Champion Hurdle last time, leads the market at 11 to 8. Sam Spinner, the Betway Stayers Hurdle runner-up at 40 to 1 last time, return back to form for him at 9 to 2. If the cap fits, 6 to 1. Roxana, the Mayor's Hurdle winner at Cheltenham, 10 to 1. West Approach 14s, Holstone 14s. The Coral Cup winner William Henry at 14s, and it's 16 to 1 bigger the rest there. I'm straight away drawn to the two of the horses at the top of the bet in there. I do like the look of If the Cap Fits at 6 to 1. I think he's got a great chance. I know he was beaten in the National Spirit of Fontwell behind Vision Day Flow, but a step up in trip from 2.5, which was there, to 3 miles now should suit him. I think he's got a nice chance of 6 to 1. I look at Sam Spinner, who bounced right back to his form when running a big race in the Stayers Hurdle at 40 to 1. He finished second. He got a really good tune out of him to Joe Colliver. Ran a very, very nice race after disappointing early on in the season when basically refusing to race at Ascot. Didn't really put much in the Cleve Hurdle either. Didn't look like a great run in the Cleve, and he really pulled it together and really ran a great race in the Stayers Hurdle. Take out Paisley Park and won that race quite decisively, didn't he, did Sam Spinner? But Paisley Park, he met a very good progressive staying hurdler on his day in Paisley Park, as I said. And at 9 to 2, he's got a great chance to win this race. Apple's Jade, you can make a small case for her. Disappointing run at Cheltenham last time out. Led from the front, didn't go on the ground. Disappointed, went out like a light coming down the hill. Look, up in trip this time to 3 miles. Will she be able to dictate like she wants to with Sam Spinner in the field? Probably not. Them two will probably be trying to take each other on for the lead, which might set up for a horse that could be held up. And if that case, I look at William Henry at a big price, who came late on the scene in the Coral Cup, when landing the big price 28 to 1 winner for Nico de Boinville, Nicky Henderson. He's got a big chance at a massive price here again. Overlooked again for the second time in succession, possibly so. I think William Henry at 14 to 1 has got a good chance of running a big race. But for me, my pick in this race will be If the Cap Fits at 6 to 1 for Harry Fry and for Sean Bowen. And moving into the final preview of the day, the Grand National itself, 5:15 off time. It is an ultra competitive renewal this year. We've got so many good horses in here. They've all got a good chance, but they're all queuing up to try and topple the big gambled on horse Tiger Roll for Gordon Elliott and Davy Russell, back 12 months on from his triumph last year at a much shorter price this time around. When I last checked the price, he was 7 to 2. Some firms going 3 to 1. Rathvinden in from 10s to 9s now at the moment. Vintage Clouds 11 to 1. Annabelle Fly 12 to 1. Lakeview Lad 14s. Pleasant Company 16s. Rottler Casbah 16s. Jury Duty 16s. Joe Farrell 16s. Another gamble on horse for Rebecca Curtis in Wales. Manila Rocco 25 to 1. One for Arthur 25 to 1. Ramsey Satay 25 to 1. Step Back 25s. Up for Review 25s. Walking and Mill 25s. Bally Optic 28s. Noble Endeavour 28s. And you get 33 to 1. Go Conquer and bigger the rest in this race. Straight away, my pick for this race is Rathvinden. I think he's got a great chance in this race. He'll go on the ground. He'll stay the trip. The Bobby Joe Chase winner, looking to try and complete that two-legged double that Willie Mullins has completed in the past, and he done that with Hedge Hunter in 2005. Snowy Morning tried to complete the double in 2008, but come third in the National and in the Bobby Joe. But it's proven it's a very useful Grand National trial for any Grand National hopefuls. And I think with Ruby Walsh on his back, who's been in fine form in this Aintree Festival, banging in some big winners for Willie Mullins so far, he's got a great chance. Min won very nicely today. Ken Boy yesterday. They had a big win in the Topham earlier on today as well. So they're in very, very good form. Is the Mullins camp, and I think Rathvinden has got a great chance here in this race at 8 to 1. Looking down the field for some value, I like the look of Walk in the Mill, the Beecher Chase winner, up in trip from 3 mile 2, which was that, up to 4 mile 2. It's a big ask to come along in this trip, but I definitely think he's got a great chance. He was a staying on winner. He wasn't flagging towards the end of the Beecher Chase. He was running all the way to the line, which is just a step up in trip. Shouldn't be too much of an ask. He's run okay in 2 quiet novice hurdles since, one in February at Chepstow, and he ran well in one on the 9th of March as well. So he's just been kept ticking over by Robert Walford, hoping to try and make him peak on this day. And I think at 25-20 he's got a big chance, and I think James Best will get a good tune out of him again. And if he were to win the race, it would be absolutely brilliant to see James Best really giving it the celebration. He was fantastic scenes after winning the Beecher Chase. I think he'll go even more mad if he goes and wins this big race on tomorrow. And going down the field even further to a horse that's a massive, massive price. And people might think, why am I selecting this horse? But I backed him last year at a similar price, and he finished third last year. He's He's a 14-year-old, sorry, this year. He's 150 to 1, but Bless the Wings, I think, has got a squeak at a big price. I backed Vix Canvas and Robbie Dunn rode him at 100 to 1 to finish third. Robbie Dunn again takes the ride this time around. He hasn't got a bad record around the national fences, has Robbie Dunn, and he's got a very willing partner in Bless the Wings who knows his way around the cross-country circuit at Cheltenham and here at Aintree as well around the Grand National fences. Ran a big race last year for Jack Kennedy at 66 to 1. He came third, outran his odds by a country mile, and I think he's got a good chance at a big price. Robbie Dunn will probably look to try and ride him quietly like Sean did last year, creep into the race, try and come on late on the scene. Might be a bit vulnerable to younger legs in the finish, but I think for a long way you're going to get a guaranteed good run for your money there. And I think at a massive price, it's definitely worth a pound or two at 150 to 1 to run a big race each way. If you enjoyed this preview, guys, that was the Grand National Meeting preview, all wrapped up for you. If you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button, comment away, subscribe as well, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.